From the cheater surveillance cameras you are about to watch, actual true stories caught live, documenting the real heartbreak a partner suffers when infidelity strikes. This show is dedicated to the loyal and presented to those with wandering eyes, hoping to spark a return to honesty and real virtue. Coming up on this dramatic episode of Cheaters, the suspect is supposedly at an AA meeting. She is definitely at a meeting, but she is not alone. She is wrapped up with another woman entirely. The confrontation escalates very quickly. She claims she was just working. Real reality television, brought to you by Cheaters Detective Agency. Private eyes on the prowl. Welcome to another episode of explosive illicit behavior on Cheaters. Tonight, we meet Christian Lewis, an author deeply concerned by the recent actions of her girlfriend. She called us to finally uncover the truth. Christian recalls how she and Tata first crossed paths. They were on a return flight from Chicago. Seated right next to each other, the two struck up a conversation. Christian felt it was an amazing opportunity. It was a long trip, but the pair ended up talking the entire way home. They exchanged phone numbers that afternoon. By the very next day, Christian called her. The two decided to grab some lunch together. It was a great date filled with laughter. Christian had an incredible time, feeling that Tata brought a completely fresh energy into her life. When they first connected, Tata was actually going through a very difficult period. She opened up about her struggles, and Christian shared parts of her own past, her own strict military background. That shared vulnerability was exactly what drew them close together. So Christian began supporting her throughout that first year. She watched Tata completely blossom into a beautiful butterfly. But over the past few months, things have felt very different with her girlfriend. Tata Duffy, age 28, an addiction counselor accused of offering false guidance. Armed with the suspect's exact schedule, our Cheaters operatives lie in wait outside Tata Duffy's residence. A short while later, the suspect exits. Let's watch our operators tail the alleged cheater to a grocery store. There she meets with an unknown woman, greeting her with a very warm hug. Christian feels betrayed. She explains she was the one who lifted Tata up back then. Back then, Tata was on the verge of being completely evicted. The young woman was truly in a terrible financial spot. Christian bailed her out, but now feels that Tata acts completely entitled to that support. In the beginning, she was endlessly grateful and appreciative of the help. She used to say she could not survive without her support. But lately, she just expects Christian to take care of everything she refuses to handle. The turning point came when Christian left her iPad at home. She was visiting Tata assuming everything was fine. You and I know it wasn't. Christian grabbed his girlfriend's iPad just to look up a few things, but he quickly realized there was a passcode blocking him, so he simply asked her for the PIN. That was a massive mistake. He said she completely lost her temper. She angrily accused him of trying to snoop through all her personal things. She demanded to know why he touched it, picking an absolutely massive fight. Christian was completely stunned and just left that very day. Sometime later, Duffy and an unidentified woman stroll out of the store. Holding hands, they walk right across the parking lot toward the suspect's car. The mysterious woman politely holds the driver's side door open for Duffy. Both women speed off, closely followed by our Cheaters investigative team. The pair arrives at the suspect's house. The illicit couple struts arm in arm to the front door. Ever since Christian and his girlfriend had that giant blowout fight, he admitted his mind had been racing. He just could not shake the gut feeling that she was cheating. He explained that right at the very beginning, he was deeply hurt. He had poured so much time and real effort into building their long relationship. He genuinely thought she was fully committed to him. He had completely opened his heart to her, wondering why she could come to him about anything else but this. Why couldn't she just be honest about her secret life? Let's watch as our operatives continue surveilling the suspect's home. A little while later, detectives watch suspect Duffy walk outside. The young woman climbs right into her vehicle. Our investigators tail the suspect as she cruises through town to a fast food spot. She enters the diner and just waits. Not long after the suspect is greeted by that same woman from earlier, we have now identified her as Tweety Sampson. The pair shares a quick hug, before Sampson grabs Duffy by the hand, pulling her deeper into the diner. They kill a little time ordering their food. The sneaky couple heads back to Duffy's car, carrying their greasy takeout bag. Duffy drives Sampson all the way back to her own house. Upon arriving, Sampson bolts over to the driver's side to hold Duffy's door wide open. Playing chauffeur, the companion grabs Duffy's backside as they head inside together for the entire evening. Sticking to the plan, our team keeps up the relentless stakeout of the suspect's property. Hours later, Duffy finally emerges from the house. The young woman slides into her driver's seat. She speeds off, tracked by our mobile team. The alleged cheater makes a beeline for a bar. She goes inside. Soon after, Duffy reappears with Sampson following right behind her. Both women slide into the suspect's waiting car. They cruise back to their favorite spot, Duffy's house, and step inside for the night. The team prepares the evidence package for a very distraught Christian. Coming up next, the explosive confrontation. Now that we have confirmed Christian's worst fears on tape, the team sets up a meeting to show him exactly what happened. With a heavy heart, Christian agrees to sit down. Christian obviously knew exactly why he was there. The host wanted to make one thing completely clear. It took immense courage for Christian to face the cameras today, and the host acknowledged that brave step immediately. You and I are about to see what investigators uncovered. The only question was if Christian was ready for the truth. Christian admitted his nerves. He felt he had no choice, terrified of what the hidden cameras might actually reveal. The host prepared to show the evidence. The surveillance footage started right outside of Tata's personal residence. Tata soon emerged into plain view. She walked out the front door, trailed by detectives, until she reached a local grocery store. After parking, another woman immediately greeted her with a tight hug and a very suspicious kiss. There was even a little grab. The host asked Christian if he recognized this mystery woman. The tape paused. Christian swore he had never seen her. Never. The footage rolled on as they left the market. The cameras caught the unknown woman opening the door for Tata. She escorted her to the car. The two of them headed back toward Tata's home, hopping into her vehicle together. The mystery woman rode in the passenger seat all the way back to the house. And there she stayed the entire night. Christian and Tata were extremely close. He had supported her through some very dark, serious life chapters. He explained she had been homeless and completely emotionally unstable. She had no car, zero direction, and was drinking heavily when he first met her. He helped her piece her life back together. It just happened naturally, and they quickly fell deeply in love. Let's review the next day of surveillance together outside Tata's home. The cameras caught her walking straight to her vehicle. She got inside and quickly drove away. After driving a short distance, she pulled into a fast food place. She stepped out and walked inside. As she entered the building, she actually received a quick phone call. Investigators managed to capture the raw audio from that exact conversation. The host revealed the call was actually with Christian, asking if he remembered it. Christian answered, saying he was thinking about her. He mentioned they hadn't seen each other lately and asked to come over tonight. Tata brushed him off, claiming tonight was bad because she had a meeting to attend. She casually suggested seeing each other over the weekend instead. Christian sounded hurt, complaining that he felt ignored and put on the back burner lately. Tata quickly deflected, telling him not to take the distance so personally. She insisted it wasn't like that at all, playing the busy card again. Then she abruptly cut the call short, claiming she really had to go right then. The call ended. Right after hanging up on Christian, the same mystery woman from yesterday emerged on camera. She walked right in, giving Tata another hug and a kiss before they left the fast food joint together in her car. The pair drove back to Tata's residence. The cameras recorded the two of them walking inside. Detectives confirmed she stayed the night again. Let's see if Christian knows where she's supposed to be right now. Let's uncover the truth together. He believed his partner was currently at her recovery meeting. Well, technically, she wasn't lying. She was at the meeting, but not alone. She was with the woman replacing him. Before the meeting ended, the camera crew hit the road. They were racing there to catch the cheating pair in the act. The boyfriend was desperate for a dramatic confrontation. He needed answers. They arrived completely ready to expose the ugly, painful truth inside. Inside, the group leader was interrupted as the angry boyfriend suddenly burst in. He loudly apologized for interrupting the room's serenity prayer. Sudden confusion swept the room. He pointed at Tata, yelling that this was his girlfriend and demanding some answers. She defensively asked what he was doing and who he even was. He screamed that she was his girl, furious she would betray him like that. The other woman looked completely bewildered. Absolute shock hit them. The couple had dated for a year. The cheater frantically backtracked, swearing she didn't even want the other woman at all. She frantically denied the affair, screaming about why he brought television cameras into their private space. Complete chaos erupted in the recovery room. He angrily called out for Tata. He couldn't believe Tata's vicious betrayal. Stick with me. The shock was real. Someone yelled to get into the car, loudly questioning why she committed this betrayal. Harsh insults flew as the crew ordered them out. They demanded a reason for the cheating, screaming that a physical fight wasn't necessary. The crew tried preventing a brawl, urging everyone to separate and just walk away. They ordered everyone outside immediately. Tempers flared aggressively, demanding they enter the vehicle. The surprise ambush was completely falling apart. The instructor shouted that this couldn't happen here, outraged by the intrusive television cameras. It was unbelievable. The cheater cried about how crucial the meeting was. She complained about the disruption, but the dramatic conclusion was already rapidly unfolding. He kept repeating that she was supposed to be at her support group safely. She was there, but she brought her mistress, totally disrupting the group's safe space. He apologized to the room while exposing his unfaithful partner. The mistress claimed total ignorance, realizing she had been completely lied to as well. He vented his heartbreak, emphasizing how he sacrificed everything and moved from New York. He crossed the country for her, only to be played. He demanded to know if she had relapsed. He screamed that he abandoned his own family for a woman who betrayed him. Vicious insults were hurled back and forth, ending with a nasty rejection of their romance. The unfaithful partner fired back, reminding him that he never complained when they were sleeping together. She mocked his anger, loudly claiming he loved her company when they were intimate. But he had his own secret. He admitted he cheated too, while the mistress actually defended the lying partner's strict sobriety. Stick with me. He denied she drank, then greeted the host. He casually greeted the crew. He claimed he knew absolutely nothing. They desperately yelled to leave. The furious girlfriend repeatedly demanded to know who he truly wanted. Someone questioned his erratic actions. He yelled to stop, claiming they were celebrating her newfound sobriety. She screamed for answers, refusing to let him inside her personal car tonight. She blocked his escape. He threatened to smash everything. She begged Christian to stop calling the entire situation totally humiliating. The enraged mistress violently shouted at the older woman to keep her hands completely off her. The older woman fired back immediately, fiercely defending her age against the vicious insults. Someone challenged Dustin directly, openly mocking him for not having the courage. The rival taunted Dustin about his failing romantic life, coldly brushing him off. The angry girlfriend threatened to physically destroy the other woman right there on camera. She screamed that he was incredibly lucky she didn't beat him severely for bringing everyone inside. She aggressively ordered him to step back. She repeated her warning to keep away. She screamed at him not to touch anyone. She kept yelling at the top of her lungs to keep his hands down entirely. The chaotic shouting match just kept escalating. A bystander pleaded with the family to just calm down. One woman scoffed, completely refusing to calm down or filter her words. She gestured at everyone. She furiously ordered both of the cheaters to hit the curb immediately. The fed-up partner yelled that she was finally done following him around. He angrily demanded the television crew get these invasive cameras out of his face right this second. Let's watch closely. The host calmly offered help, asking if she'd actually start drinking again after this. She proudly insisted she was much stronger than that, denying any further drinking would happen. The rival ruthlessly mocked her, telling her to try harder. The cruel taunts continued. She wouldn't back down. Tensions hit maximum. Someone yelled to watch out and stop the escalating madness. She screamed that the unfaithful partner couldn't stay with her anymore. The host called for security immediately. Guards quickly stepped from the vehicle. More insults flew. She declared she was entirely ready. She fiercely warned her rival to be glad. The harsh profanity just kept flowing. She hurled totally bizarre, disrespectful insults. The argument completely devolved into an absolute storm of chaotic, angry profanity. You and I agree the mistress better run before things get completely violent. Screaming, she told the mistress to back off and just take him. Hearing the chaotic screaming downstairs, she demanded that everyone just pack up and go home. She cursed at her repeatedly. She warned that the mistress would return to claim him, and she had absolutely no patience left. She honestly admitted the toxic situation was genuinely threatening her hard-earned sobriety. Insults flew as she furiously demanded to know whose side he was actually on. She wanted out, urging him to finally just be honest with the other woman. She pointed out how erratically the rival was acting and how terribly she was treating him. She bluntly stated she'd rather him be anywhere else but right there. As the rival pulled up, she asked someone to get her car ready immediately. She screamed that he could leave with his mistress and they could both get the hell out of there. She hurled one last graphic insult. She screamed another graphic insult directly at both of the women. Cursing them both again, she firmly stated she wasn't going to fight or put on a show. She absolutely refused to beg anyone. She aggressively warned the woman not to say a single motherfucking word to her again. Someone sarcastically apologized for the interruption, mocking them for playing house behind closed doors. They promised to handle the situation. Frustrated by the glaring lights and cameras, she vowed to handle everyone herself. She worried about her Christian image, angrily declaring she was finally completely done. With nothing left to say, she watched the other woman finally struggle. She told her to move on with life, recalling how positive things originally seemed to be. Everything seemed so positive at first. She admitted she truly trusted her. Confused by the contradictory lies, she had no idea what to even believe about the situation anymore. She realized they were never truly partners. Angrily dismissing any need for relationship counseling, she fiercely demanded a genuine apology for the absolute nightmare she was actively dealing with. Calling out their ridiculous behavior, she grabbed her things and ordered her crew to leave. She warned everyone to stay alert. She shoved past her, saying goodbye. Looking at the erratic behavior, she seriously doubted the woman was actually sober. Her wild actions definitely didn't scream sobriety to anyone watching. Let's break this down. Christian confronted her girlfriend. She fully realizes some incredibly tough decisions are necessary. Later, you and I will uncover her exact strategy for moving into the future. But first, Zach tries explaining why he shouldn't be blamed for getting caught with another man's partner on cheaters. Zach later claimed that when the cheaters' camera crew suddenly busted in, he was completely caught off guard. He admitted feeling incredibly embarrassed the moment everyone inside the restaurant stood up to watch the spectacle. He desperately tried to justify himself. He honestly felt the whole confrontation could have been handled with a lot more discretion. The chaotic scene was extremely shocking, but his shock peaked the absolute second somebody actually punched him. Hearing the crowd cheer outside, you and I can see he felt like the ultimate villain. He genuinely didn't believe he was the bad guy, wondering what the crew was even trying to accomplish. He was left entirely confused by everything. Let's watch this absolute train wreck unfold together. The boyfriend realized the brutal truth. They were on a cheating show. The other guy stood there confused, asking who the angry boyfriend was. The parking lot confrontation escalated right then. He thought his girl was supposed to be studying. She stammered out a terrible excuse, claiming she really was busy. The side piece refused to take any blame for the entire mess. He threw all the guilt right onto Megan instead of owning his part. He pointed out that she was the one actively betraying her partner. He even hinted he probably wasn't the only other guy she was sneaking around with behind closed doors back then. The side guy felt both of them could have handled the drama. They should have managed their toxic issues better. Then he suddenly paused. Back at the scene, brutal insults flew as they called each other completely insane. The screaming continued. He demanded to know who acts like this. He screamed, asking who behaves this way. The other man warned him to watch his tone. He told the angry boyfriend to lower his voice. He demanded everyone lower the volume. He insisted that things were getting too heated. Someone yelled, "Stop!" The crew tried breaking it up. Let's be honest. Their romance died the second cameras appeared. He drove her home later, and it was a miserable experience. It was one of the worst drives of his life, with her sobbing the entire way until he finally dropped her off. The side guy made it clear he never wanted to see her. He had not heard a word, but he admitted he might answer if she reached out late at night. As for getting caught on national television, he shrugged it off entirely. The public scandal didn't bother him at all. He claimed the ordeal wouldn't change how he handled his future romantic relationships. Well, maybe slightly. He noted he might avoid dating women who already have partners from now on. He wanted to avoid repeating this kind of public disaster. But his bottom line was pretty simple. He genuinely believed he did nothing wrong. In fact, he felt the actual boyfriend should have kept his cool. He arrogantly stated that if the boyfriend stayed calm, everything would be perfectly fine. Devastated by the shady actions of her ex-girlfriend, Kristen Lewis reflected. She realized this painful betrayal would definitely impact her next relationship, confessing to producers. She promised herself to take things slow. The next woman would have to actively prove her true loyalty. She wanted true love, not just a provider. The cheating suspect, Tata Duffy, admitted to the television producers that things got pretty rough for a while. Tweety was absolutely furious, but they somehow managed to work things out. They stayed together. The suspect even mocked Christian, telling her to try harder. Meanwhile, the companion Tweety Sampson had plenty of words for the cameras. She firmly declared her love. She claimed she sacrificed far too much moving there to throw it away over a minor bump in the road. What do you and I make of this? Sometimes, people just choose to survive the toxic journey one day at a time. She never even cried. The producer warned viewers to get their television programming from Goldstein's. Otherwise, they would both lose money.